Hello, welcome to Meaningful Conversations Live with Beata. I'm Beata, your host, and I'm here for you every Tuesday at noon with very special guests. So, Meaningful Conversations are for you to bring more meaning to your life, to increase your awareness and inspire transformation. Today, I have a really special guest, and he is connecting with us from Saudi Arabia. Wow. Why? I guess he will explain why. His name is Aaron Gryder, and he is very special, successful entrepreneur. His career is he did career as a professional jockey. He is co-founder of charity, the Giving Circle. Aaron, welcome to the show. I'm not sure if we have you. I can hear you, Aaron. Welcome to the show.
Now, I hear you now. We're breaking up for a second. Thank you so much, Beata. Thank you for having me.
And please tell. So the title of our show today is Getting Back in the Saddle. Why that? Because as I said, I don't know if you heard my introduction, Aaron is a professional jockey. So what does it mean? He was really seriously riding the horses. Like, yes, he was riding the horses. He still is, but his entire career, I believe it's 35 years.
34 years.
34 years. 34. Yes, and I'm like, what? You can make career in riding the horses, but let's talk about life. Like, people, whoever is with me, please say hi. Please say hi. Dolly is with us. Thank you so much. Hi, Dolly. We love you. Thank you for joining. And whoever is listening right now, I have a question. Well, we lost you for a second. I have a question. All of us who is listening, have you ever get out of the saddle? You were riding tall through this thing called life, and out of nowhere, suddenly you got out on the ground. You lost the job, the pandemic came, you are just not where you used to be. Maybe your loved one got sick, just life happened. So that's why today's title of my show is Getting Back in the Saddle, because it's very interesting. I just can't imagine how is it to be this person who is on the riding the horse and is staying there strong, getting successful. Well, but before we go there, Aaron, I have a question, because I forgot to say that you are also a motivational speaker, and your goal is to inspire others to live their dreams as you did. So my first question is, what is the story? How did your dream for racing came true?
Well, when I was 4 years old, I decided I would be a jockey. And I used to go to the racetrack with my grandparents all the time in Southern California, just as a fan. They loved betting on the horses, and I would just go out there, and I was just amazed by the horses, just their size and their power and speed. And I would just get so excited around them, but they also scared me. I was never on horses. I had a fear of them, but just the excitement of being around them. I didn't care about anything else. When I would go out there, I just pictured myself and imagined being a jockey and riding races and winning. And I carried that through my childhood. And when I was 12 years old, I met a retired jockey who had said if I wanted to learn how to ride and how to take care of horses, I could come and stay at his farm the following summer. So after 9th grade, I went out to his farm, and he taught me all about horses. But then he put me up on one, and it was a scary day for me, but a very exciting day. I was finally getting that opportunity to live my dreams and start making progress towards it. And after about 20 minutes of riding, I got off and I was shaking and scared and excited, and the adrenaline was just pumping through me. And I got off the horse and I almost fell a couple times, but he looked at me and said, "Kid, you're a natural." And I don't know what exactly he saw, but I told him it was fear of falling that kept me on. And that's when I realized facing my fears could really help me and benefit me, and challenge yourself to become better and push through your fears. So beyond that, when I was 16 years old, I ended up becoming a jockey, started out in Tijuana, Mexico, and just had great support from my parents. And even though I had left home when I was 13 years old, they allowed me to do that because they knew I was getting an opportunity of a lifetime. And they gave me that opportunity to take it at a young age. And by 16 years old, I was professionally racing, living in Tijuana by myself for 3 months before moving back to Southern California and started riding on the biggest circuits. And since then, I've been riding for 34 years, and I've traveled all around the world, riding for people that from, just people that might be your neighbors to big business people to kings and queens and princes and sheiks. It's brought me to many places. And luckily, my dream was to ride racehorses. I would have been happy riding them anywhere. But because I ended up challenging myself and continued to get better, I was allowed to get opportunities all around the world. So horses have brought me everywhere I've been, and they've, in one way or another, introduced me to everybody I know.
So
it's been a great ride for me.
If I can stop you here for a second, because I think it's very important to highlight that when you found this love for horses and racing, you had support of your parents. They supported you. So the support in your parents or any other person or tribe is important to follow your dreams, to keep going, is what I hear. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. I was very fortunate that I was in such a great family with so much love and so much support. And again, I told you they allowed me to leave home when I was 13 years old, but it was out of love that they allowed me to do that, because I was chasing my dream. But it's so important that no matter what you're doing, whether you're in school or whether you're just starting your job or doesn't matter what age you are, it's so important to surround yourself around good people and have mentors, people that can inspire you, because no matter how good you think you're doing, there's somebody else that can challenge you, that can make you bring out more within yourself. And the better you become, the more you can inspire others by doing it, by your actions. And, I hope that someday that I'm able to inspire many others like I was along the way. I had mentors. My father was a great mentor to me. Rudy Campus, who taught me to ride, was a great mentor. But I look back and I've got the greatest core group of friends that surround me that I've had all my life. And that's so important, because they challenge you to be better and you challenge them. And you just always have those positive vibes in between each other. And that's what makes you great. Something that pushes you along. A passion, something
you just said that your father was the great person, an inspiring person in your life. Is there any quote, any sentence, any word that you carry with you through your life that you heard from him and helped you to succeed?
Well, I don't know if it was just one quote or anything, but my father was my biggest fan. And when I first started racing, he would come to the races after work and watch me ride and try and catch the last race or two just to be there and support me. And when I was 17 years old, he was going to miss the races for a couple of days. He was going on a trip, and he said, came up to me, gave me a big hug, and he said, "I love you, son. Go win a race for me tomorrow." And I didn't think much of it. I gave him a hug back and said, "I love you too." And, he drove off, and I didn't realize that would be the last time I would see him. That night he was driving and had a heart attack, and his car went off the side of a mountain, and he was only 42 years old. So I was 17 at the time. And when the police woke me up that night to tell me the sad news, it was, right then I knew that I wanted to take on his responsibilities. I wanted to make him proud. I wanted, through his examples, he had great work ethic and was always there to provide for his family. And I wanted to take on those responsibilities and provide for our family from that point on. So it was just things that he would do throughout life. It wasn't one particular quote, but it was just his daily actions, the way he lived. And, I really looked up to him. And to this day, I still make some choices that, I think about what's right or wrong and should I do it or not do it? And what would he want me to do? How would he have approached it? So, it's just through a lifetime of, I was only around him for, the first 13 years I lived with him, and then I moved out, but he was in my life for 17 years, but he's continued to be in my life every day and choices that I make. So that's what's important about a mentor is, I've got some people that I've worked out with and different things that have really been inspiring to me. And when I go and do things, when I'm by myself, if I think about not pushing myself, I can hear their voices. That's strong of an impression that they put on me, telling me, do it. You can do more, push yourself. So it's just so important that you find people like that in your life. And I was fortunate that was right there in my home. Not a lot of children are as lucky as I was to have such a loving family. And I know there's a lot of great families. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't have that support and love in their family. But it's important that they seek it somewhere else if they don't have it in their home.
Absolutely. And you do a lot for children, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But I want to highlight now about this mentor that you mentioned, and your father figure. It's so important. But I want to know, because I think riding the horses, you were already riding them and you got some lessons there from riding the horses, becoming an athlete. So it kept you in the saddle instead of falling when this accident with your father happened. So tell me 3 most valuable lessons from getting on the horse and making you stay there.
Well, there's always going to be things in life that'll set you back, no matter how good you're doing. And, whether you're riding horses or not, it's a term, get back up on the horse and brush yourself off. And so when there are setbacks in life, you can easily just say, oh, that's not for me. I tried, it didn't work. But if you do that, you're never going to be satisfied. You'll never live to your full potential. So you have to get back on the saddle, push through it. You have to realize that each time you fall was just an obstacle of where you're trying to get. It taught me different ways, to grow up, to improve, to get stronger, and, just to grow in yourself. So to me, that's very important about getting back on the saddle. And the major thing is just never give up, believe in yourself, have 100% belief in yourself, because a lot of the dreams that you have and things that you go after might not be supported by your friends or your family. They might think it's impossible and tell you, oh, you can't do that. Be realistic. You don't have to be realistic. Those are your dreams. Only you can accomplish them, and only you feel them. And if they're in your heart and you have the passion to go after it, you can accomplish those. So just never quit on yourself. Never quit on your dreams. And lastly, it's just about be surrounded by great people. They'll help you. There's going to be times where you're challenged, no matter how strong my mind is, or, knowing that I don't want to quit. There's times there are challenges, and, it takes your friends to kick you in the butt and say, quit pouting, step up, quit feeling sorry for yourself and go after it. So it's just, it's a combination of things, so many things. It's not one step or an easy plan to success, but it's step by step. And it's fortunately, I won over 4,000 races in my career, but I also lost about 26,000. And it was through a lot of those losses that helped me create those winners. I learned from each one, learned what I could do better, how I could educate myself to take a different approach and try something different. And it brought me to great success.
Amazing. And I love it. Push through it. Stop being sorry for yourself and keep moving forward. If you have a dream, keep moving forward. I love it. Love it. Push through it. It's my new quote on my screen. And before I go to the next question, I have Janet saying, yay, 2 amazing people. Hi, Janet. We love you. Thank you for joining.
Hello,
and Isabella, she is
Janet.
saying, beautiful story. Thank you, Isabella. That's true. It's a beautiful story of how to not be a victim and get to the success, even in your young manhood, you you just got knocked sometimes. Yeah. And it happens to all of us. But you turn this loss that you had in early age into success. And it's where I want to go next. Because when I was reading through your articles, interviews, and listening, and one of the journalists asked you about your success, how do you get to be so successful? And your answer was very short. You just said, let me get it right. I was just following opportunities. So how do you just know that it's opportunity opposed to some, I don't know, some just, what is the other word for opportunity? So how do you know that is the right opportunity? Maybe that way. How do you know that it's the right opportunity? Or you just take and then test and go and push through?
Well, I think it's the right opportunity when you feel something that you're passionate about and you love it, and your mindset is that's what the direction you want to go in. So those opportunities didn't all work out, but every opportunity I got, I was allowed to, give it my best to advance me a little bit further. And sometimes when you think you want one thing, you get an opportunity to get there, and it's amazing. Before you actually get to where you thought you were going, it brings you to a different avenue. And it doesn't mean that you didn't succeed. It might bring you to something.
I think you freezed. We lost you for a second. Are you still there? I think we lost Aaron for a second. Hopefully he's back. Well, let me remind you, Aaron is a professional jockey. So he's riding the horses here in racing. So hopefully he's back. He is basically half retired, but he's still in the arena. And the connection is not the best because he is today in Saudi Arabia raising a horse for a prince. I was like, come on, man, you just said that you're gonna retire. And he's like, yes, but when Prince is asking you and come and raise the horse for him, you don't say no. So it's the opportunity, I believe, that he was just talking about to us. And I really hope he's back because I have more questions. So to everyone who is just joining us, I'm hosting my Meaningful Conversations with Beata live show every Tuesday at noon. And I'm so happy for all of you being here with me. And I have Dolly, thank you, Marta, Janet. Bishol is joining me. Hi, Bishol, how are you? He was just recently my guest, and we had amazing conversation. So if you didn't hear him talking, please go back and find our episode. I'm still hoping that Aaron is gonna be back. If not, we will just probably reschedule our conversation. Oh, he is back. Awesome. We lost you for a couple seconds. All right.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just explaining why is this connection so weak, because you are in Saudi Arabia and you are riding and rising for the prince, and it's the opportunity that you don't say no to, right?
Well, this is my 32nd trip to Saudi Arabia to race, and I've ridden for different princes throughout the years here. I've even ridden for the king here on one occasion, but I announced my retirement a couple of weeks ago in America. And then a couple of days later, I got a phone call and an opportunity from the prince who had asked me to come out. And he'd asked me actually to come out for a few months, but I told him that I would come out for this month because it gives me the opportunity to also fly to Dubai and visit my son who's in the Marines and stationed in Dubai. So it is a great opportunity because now I can ride on the weekends. I can go over and visit my son a couple of times in Dubai. It's going to be a great month. So it's a nice way for me to finalize and actually do retire at the end of this month and again, it's been a pleasure. So it's brought me from Tijuana, Mexico, to riding around the world. For the last one I'll ride for is a prince here in Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely. And it's what I was explaining, that you are kind of retired, but not, because when Prince is asking you to come and ride the horse for him, you just go and do it. But there is a funny story that I'm not sure if I'm getting it right, but we a little bit talk about that. So back in the time when you were in Dubai, riding a horse, and you got gold encrusted whip for winning the World Cup. Can you tell us about that story?
Sure. Well, the Dubai World Cup at the time was the biggest race in the world. It had the purse, or the prize money, was $6 million. I don't get all of that, but it was you get a portion. But
yes, we can't hear you. This is such an awesome story, because, well, I would not like to. Yeah, okay, he's back. So I'm not gonna tell the story. You tell the story.
Okay, so I ended up getting on a horse in 2008. I wasn't doing that well, and I ended up getting on a horse called Well Armed, and I got on him just by chance, and I guess it wasn't just by chance. It was because even though I wasn't doing good that year, I wasn't afraid to go out there and ask. I didn't just sit back and feel sorry for myself. I continued to try and get horses. And when I got on Well Armed, they told me that the horse had been off for over a year and a half. He hadn't raced.
We lost you again. What a shame, because that story basically is about when in life sometimes we think that we got that gold medal, that gold opportunity that is just gonna put us on the top of the world, and kind of we are, but at the end it's not really what we thought. And that story is about that. Okay, I was trying to not reveal the whole story. All right.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, I ended up getting on a horse in 2008 who won a few races. Then he was invited to the Dubai World Cup. In 2009, when he went to the World Cup, he didn't only win, he won by 14 lengths. So he won very easily. But the trophy was given that night by the ruler of Dubai. Sheikh Mohammed gave me a gold whip. So at the end of the whip is a horse's head. It's shaped like a horse, and then the mane is emeralds, rubies, diamonds, and sapphires. It's a beautiful, beautiful trophy. So it's one I'm very proud of, just because, not necessarily because of what the trophy is, but it represents a little kid who left home at 13 years old, chasing a dream, started in Tijuana, Mexico, and ended up winning the biggest race in Dubai. So to me, that's what it represents. And, it's always going to be special to me. And I've been very blessed.
Okay, so that is fantastic story, and I hope people can get with all these breaks what is it about, and congratulations. But on one of the shows you said that, and I think I'm finding it funny, because I believe in life we do the same. We think that we get something that is gonna just make us rich and make us just the kings of the world or queens of the world, and then we find out it's nice, but we still have to work. And in one of the interviews you said that when I received that gold diamond whip, I thought that I'm rich, but then I found out that I'm not really, because it's what you said, or it's just the story in the interview.
Well, I'm not really anyway, but I don't know.
But it was at that time, so that was funny to me. It was like, because so many times we go after something and we think, okay, now I won't have to do anything. I will just live my life on vacation, and then we find out that we still have to go and do the work, because it's not the end of our journey.
Absolutely. You have to continue working, and you wouldn't be satisfied if you quit at that point anyway, because it's so fulfilling. You want more. You keep going after it and you continue to improve. And, I think even when you are set financially, if you just stopped doing what you're passionate about, you would feel empty.
Absolutely. And I think it's what you just said is about, if you go after your dream, if you know that it's what you are going after is gonna fulfill you, there is never the ending line. There is always the next level, the next lesson to learn. And it's what I'm hearing from you. We have Seweryn-Reid. Hi, Beata. Hi, Aaron. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Aaron's story is inspiring. Yes, Aaron is inspiring to me. That's why he is on that show, because we bring people that inspire others to change their lives, to follow their dreams, and, as he say, push through it. My new favorite quote. And Aaron, so you had such a successful career as a jockey, and love what you still love what you do. You love what you did. And so many athletes, they say that to get to that level and live like you do, you have to sacrifice something. Have you ever had to sacrifice other part of your life, or you don't have that feeling?
No, I do. There definitely been sacrifices. I've been divorced now for 10 years, but when I was married, I was traveling a lot. When my kids were younger, I'd see them a lot, but then I'd be out of town a lot. And there was a lot of times that I missed them and wish I could have had more time with them, and I was always saying, well, I'm doing this for all of us and, making things better and providing. And sure I was, but I was also in a selfish way doing what I loved. And I see so many things that you do sacrifice no matter what you're going to do. And, there's been sacrifices beyond that you're going to do, but you have to find out, do the best that you can. And if it's important to you, you continue going forward. It's always been important with me. I'm glad I do have a great relationship with my children, and, but you have to look at things, and if you're going to be successful, you have to know going into it that there's going to be sacrifices. You're going to lose friends, and some of them you need to lose. It's unfortunate to say that way, but some of them you need to say, we don't think alike any longer, and I'm going after this. And, you don't want friends that are anchors. You don't want somebody that's going to hold you back and tell you can't do things. You've got to keep moving forward and finding different things. So there are sacrifices, but at the end of it, it's all choices and challenges that you have to make. It's coming to the end of the year now, and everybody's going to make their New Year's resolutions. And New Year's resolutions, just a point on a calendar, because it's about change. And so on the first of the year, a lot of people make their choices to go out and make their New Year's resolutions, and most of them fail or quit those, the things that they go after on January 1st. By the end of January, they've already slipped and decided, oh, that's not for me. And they wait till the next year to make a New Year's resolution. But to do something that you are going to be good at, it's not about January 1st. It's about today making a choice, and not just making a choice, but at least making small movements towards, what's going to get you where you want to be. I don't care how small it is, whether it's reading something, whether it's writing it down, whatever it may be. Take some action today. Don't wait till January 1st for your New Year's resolution. If you are, you're just buying time, and January 1st, all you're making is a wish list, not really changing what you're doing. You need to change your habits, and you need to start today.
That is a beautiful ending, actually, but I don't want to end it because your story and you're so inspiring. And so I'm just gonna go back to first of all, what you just said, it's so true that it's not about sacrifices, it's about choices. And when you do the right choices for yourself, you will have the support. I'm sure that your kids and every other child is rather to see their father or mother, their parents, satisfied with their life than seeing them unhappy because they did not follow their dreams. So I'm sure your kids, they have just this beautiful hero up front of them, and they know that you have to push through it if you want to get your dream. And so let's go back to what you also quickly do with children and for children. You are co-founder of the charity, and can you tell us about that?
Well, the charity now is called the Giving Circle, but it started in 2005 when Hurricane Katrina hit Louisiana. I was living in New York, and a friend of mine was living upstate New York, 3 hours away from me. And people were helping in Louisiana to send money, send food, different things that were the necessities. But we got to talking and decided, these poor children that have lost their homes and everything else, while they're being provided the necessities, I said, what can we do to put a smile on their face? They've lost everything, and their toys are gone, everything's gone. And so we decided to create a Cajun Christmas. And we didn't know where it would go, but he was 3 hours away from me. We both decided, let's start getting reaching out to people. Let's get as many toys as we can, and we'll send them down to Louisiana. Well, in no time at all, I filled my 2-car garage, and then I went and got storage, and then I filled that up and had to get more storage. And he was doing the same thing by his house. And when it was all said and done, we ended up getting 2 semi-trucks completely full of toys donated to us, and as well as the trucks and the gasoline from New York all the way down to Louisiana. And just 2 people with an idea found so many other people along the way that were so helpful in donating, and we provided that year 6,000 children with Christmas. So that was the beginning of what was just a thought of making a Cajun Christmas and supplying for a day or for the holidays. We went on to create the Giving Circle, which is a charity that helps everybody, not just children, but it's helped everybody in the States as far as it's tended to 10 natural disasters, rebuilding homes, helping people get their lives back and organized. We've built a homeless shelter in upstate New York, but then we've gone to Africa for the last many years, and started in the poorest village in Uganda. And it was Kagoma Gate was the poorest village. And there they had never had any fresh water. So we built our organization built the first freshwater wells. Since then, we've built 2 schools, a clinic, a health clinic. We've built an orphanage. We've built farming and different things to where it can be somewhat, right now it's somewhat self-sustainable, but we still have more work to do. And now we've started in another village. But it's great with the Giving Circle and the schools that we've built. Each child has learned English, and so many children, unfortunately, are deaf in Uganda or in Africa, and a lot of it's because of malaria, and it's such a bad disease. And there's 2 medications that can help them, and unfortunately, one of the side effects is they lose their hearing. So it's a choice of a child can live till he's 5 years old, or we can medicate them and they'll lose their hearing, but we want them still to have a good life. So each child also, not only do they learn English, but each child in school learns sign language. So even the deaf don't feel like they're separated. Each child can learn with each other. We've got chess programs for them over there. We've got just different jobs that we've created for them. And it's been an amazing thing to watch children that didn't have any hope in it, that before the Giving Circle came in there into Kagoma Gate, that village had never seen any form of education. And now we've got children that have gone through our schools and graduated, and some are working at the health departments and have dreams and goals. And that's what it's all about, to see the smile on their faces. And now that they can look forward thinking things are possible.
That is amazing. And for everyone who would like to support or check what is it about, you can see on the screen, it's www.thegivingcircle.com, or just Google thegivingcircle.com and the Giving Circle. Sorry?
Thegivingcircle.org. It's thegivingcircle.org, O-R-G.
.org? Okay, I'm sorry. So it's .org. I will change it right now. And
Google the Giving Circle.
.org. Here you go. It should be good now. .org. And before we end, I have Michael is saying such a wise mindset Aaron has. That's so true. And Michael is my husband. So thank you,
Thank you.
for joining us. We have Garlin saying great conversation, nice conversation. Fanny, hi speakers. Hi, Fanny. Thank you for joining us. If any of you have quick question, now is the best time to ask, because we are gonna finish our conversation and hopefully we're gonna have a part 2 because there is so much more to talk. And Aaron, what is the best way to find you, to get to know you more?
Well, on social media, I've just kept it simple. It's Aaron Gryder. So at Aaron Gryder on social media. And I'm in the process. I've got a website, but it's still in the process of moving forward, but it's just aarongryder.com. So it will be updated in the next month and more things there, but you can reach me through either my website or social media at any time. And hopefully we can all find a way to meet soon. It's nice to meet you on the stage here, but I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. We've met so many people.
Yes, absolutely. And okay, so what is we have a question? No, Fanny just saying, amazing, keep the good work, Aaron. Absolutely. Yes, thank you for saying that.
Fanny had me on her show a couple of weeks ago.
Right, I hear that. Yeah, you are amazing, both. So for everyone who wants to connect with Aaron, you have his website and social media. What is it? I lost the thought. Everything, every way you want to connect is just right there on the screen, because I want to ask you the last question. What is your one advice that you would like to leave our audience with for all those that are trying to follow their dreams, but maybe they don't have this faith yet, and it's 2021 is coming, and like you said, don't wait till New Year's, don't wait till Friday, Monday, whatever, new president, whatever, don't wait. So what is your advice for them to start now to follow their dreams and never, or not never, because you're gonna fall off the saddle, but get back into the saddle?
Absolutely. I would say the biggest thing is just to follow your heart, not your head, because so many times people think it's in your head that gets you places because that's where your brain is, but it's your heart that gets you places. A lot of times in your head, you'll hear voices telling you can't do it, that you're limiting yourself by the things you tell yourself or the things that you hear. So follow what's in your heart and your mind will follow. Just go after what you believe in. Don't worry about if you think you can do it or not. You just believe in you'll find a way to get there. It's like, just don't listen to the naysayers. And, there's voices in your own head that'll tell you, oh, that's too tough, you can't do it. Those voices don't belong there. You can push them out. You can change the voices and the scripts that they have to say. So listen to your heart and go after it.
I love it. Listen to your heart, not to your head. Follow your dream. Thank you so much, Aaron, for being here with me today. I really hope to have you back, because there are so many more questions that I would like to ask you and get to know how you get where you are today more. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful time in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
It's been a pleasure being on here. I'm sorry about the Wi-Fi going in and out, but I'm glad we were able to.
It's something that we don't have control over. Yes.
Right.
So
yes,
I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much. God bless you. And yeah, just keep inspiring all of us.
Have a great day and live your dreams.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. And remember, every Tuesday at noon, Meaningful Conversations with Beata. You can find more about me on my website. Next Tuesday, next guest. But today it was really inspiring. Please share with your friends, family. You never know who needs to hear that story, who needs to hear that inspiration to start something new, to start following the dreams that are the only reason we are here. Thank you so very much, everyone. Follow your heart, not your head. Thank you so very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.